I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Just between us. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would end up being the guy who talks about affinity stuff. To be fair, I'm not the only guy that talks about affinity stuff. I just happen to be, probably the most colorful. The affinity conversations kind of happened by chance. I did a video about affinity when I made the switch, and I really honestly didn't expect it to hit like it did, and it did hit, and now here I am. But see, here's the thing. I don't plan on being the affinity guy forever. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dave Connery, and I'm an artist and designer based in Southern California, and no, I'm not going to be the guy who does affinity videos into infinity. This is actually totally coincidental because I was planning on doing this video anyway, but I just found out today that there are actually other affinity guys who are now deciding that I have become the person to watch, and now they're doing the videos that I've already done. Some people might get offended at that because, oh, well, they're stealing my stuff. But you know what? I don't care. They can do that because, like I said, I don't plan on being the affinity guy forever. Will I continue to make affinity videos because I want to share my techniques, I want to share my knowledge, I want to share my design insight with you guys? Of course. It absolutely is the bread and butter of what I do here. But there is a much bigger vision to this channel that you may not be aware of. Before I get into that vision, I want to talk a little bit about how affinity videos typically go, not just for me, but for pretty much the entirety of anybody who puts stuff up here on YouTube. And this isn't just affinity. This also goes for all the Adobe stuff and pretty much anybody who does graphic design oriented or even art and design oriented videos here. There's pretty much a standard about how things go. There are some people that get up here, they're no nonsense, they show their screen, they say, hey, look at this new tip of this thing that I found, and it's zip, 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 in and out, and they're done. That's pretty cool because sometimes you just want to learn something really quick. I've been that person that wanted to learn a thing and I wanted it done in less than 3 minutes if possible. Those people are valuable and I appreciate them, and I've tried to do that, but I talk too much. Then there are those who go a little bit deeper with their techniques, and I probably fall into this category more often than not, but these are people that go in deeper because they want to share something, that's more than just skin deep on techniques or inspiration or, design styles. This also goes for the people that do more design fundamentals, design rules, those types of videos, which sometimes I find can be a little bit too confining for me. I've never done a whole lot of design rules videos because I am the king of breaking the design rules. I will take my design rules, I will turn them on their head, twist them up into knots, throw them into the corner, pick them up, dust them off, scan them back in, and then bring it back into Affinity Photo right up until it crashes. But here's the thing. All of those people, myself included, are not innovating at all, at least when it comes to providing information for you. The formulas for creating design-oriented videos on YouTube are pretty much the same for everybody. Just like those few variations of types of people that are creating content, there's also the formats, the editing, the way the videos are presented. They fall into a few small categories, and I include myself in this. Nobody is really innovating with how they present the information. When I started going heavy on this channel, my purpose was never to just talk about design fundamentals, design techniques, design software. Those things have been a convenient means to an end, but they are not the end. They are merely the gateway to something much bigger. I don't know if you know this, but I don't do a whole lot of freelance design projects anymore. I have a couple now and then, but for the most part, when somebody comes to me with, hey, can you make me a logo? I am the first to push that onto somebody else. Between you and me and the rest of the world, my goal is not to exchange time for money. My goal is to take what knowledge I've learned as a designer, as an artist, and turn that into something more substantial for myself. Whether it's as simple as making merch for people to purchase, to present the information that I learn up on YouTube and earn a little bit of ad revenue, or to go into something much bigger than myself. My true purpose on this channel wasn't to show you, hey, look at all the cool things Dave can do. On the contrary, it's been about, look at all the cool things you can do. I'm a big fan of creative pursuits, especially the ones that put more money in your pocket without having to worry about other people dictating to you what those things are. It absolutely could be merch like shirts and mugs and hats. It could also be art prints or digital art that you send to other people, or it could be digital downloads like the assets that I'm creating so that other people can use them to make their stuff. You could do that too, and I want you to do that too. I also encourage people wanting to put out information into the world just like I do in their own special way. I want people to expand the realm of how we present the information. I want to be the guy that people turn to when they're looking for inspiration to get out from underneath the corporate gig or all the freelance clients or or whatever it is that's holding them down and not allowing them to freely express their creativity. I understand that freelance work and having a corporate job is something that a lot of people must do, but I also want to be the guy that sits here on this side of the camera and says, you know what, there are bigger things for you. With the caveat, of course, saying there are no guarantees to how that works out for you, but I'm here to back your play. Wait. Stop. I want to slow this down for just a minute because I want to tell you about something that I've been thinking about for a while. Imagine for a moment you're in a long yet narrow white room with high ceilings and it's filled with soft, natural light. On the walls to your left and right there are large monitors that hang vertically. Some of those screens show a variety of rotating images and videos. Other screens share live streaming of people making things. You are a voyeur, watching but not interacting. In the air, there's a clean, satisfying aroma like fresh flowers in ice, and it fits perfect with the lo-fi musical tones that seem to fill the empty space between you and everything around you. In the center of the room, there's a large round table with 2 chairs across from each other and a microphone in front of each. Your host welcomes you, invites you to sit. He wants to share your story with the world. Suddenly, the table is gone, but at the back of the room, a low platform appears. Someone is about to perform, but who and what? Perhaps it's someone you admire, imparting wisdom, maybe some humor, telling stories. It could be musicians sharing their latest release to your exclusive audience. Or it could be artists making things in person and inviting you to join them live. You are in a white room, and that room was made solely for the purpose of bringing people like you together. But what I'm sharing in that dreamlike state that I just tried to create for you is my vision. This is my big dream, a physical space where people come together to talk about things like art and design and music and creativity. We come together and we watch other people perform or listen to people speak. Maybe it's you and me, maybe it's somebody else and us together as a group to learn, to experience, to hear stories, to tell stories. This is my grand vision, and it's going to be several years before this becomes a realization. And although this will be a local venue, anybody who comes to the area would be welcome to come visit, but we'll also be sharing the entirety of it with the world, hosting it up into my different channels, wherever they may be, putting them up on audio outlets so that people can hear what's happening, project live streaming so that the world can experience what's happening in a way that's different than what anybody else is sharing out there. There have been other larger creators who have expressed an interest in doing something like this and they've never made it happen. Or at the very least, it may have happened, but nobody's talking about it. I want it to be someplace that people actually talk about. Okay, so this is an unexpected scenario. My camera, it's not so much the camera as it is the microphone on top of my camera, that battery went dead, and so there's a whole section of video that I was supposed to be in this section right here, but there's no audio to it. So we're recording, and the funny thing is that I don't remember everything I said. That's all right, we're out here, morning constitution, I'm finishing up coffee, and then I'm about 5 minutes away from taking my son to the beach. But before I do that, I want to finalize the ideas that I've got going on here, that again, bringing it full circle. The purpose of what I'm doing here on this channel is to encourage others to, express their creativity in more better ways and find new ways of pulling more out of themselves so they can create more for themselves in the future. And I think that is the trajectory. And though Affinity has been a really good thing for me to help get my awareness to what I'm doing here, it's clear that that's not the only thing I'm going to be about. And I can't wait for you guys to join me on this journey. I'm gonna continue to push myself a little bit. In fact, I've already started with this video a little bit, just pushing the envelope as far as what I deliver a little bit. And I want to keep pushing that, and I want to experiment in other areas. And you'll start seeing that as time goes on, as long as I remember to actually keep pressing against the circle of comfort that we all tend to run up against as creatives. Pushing the content, pushing the way it's being delivered, pushing the things that get delivered as it's being pushed to you, and pushing you to do more of that. I'm more punchy than I usually am, even after my second cup of coffee. I don't know why. Speaking of pushing buttons, these 2 videos are gonna help you with that, okay? I'm gonna get out. Remember, be good today, be even better tomorrow. I'll see you. Don't forget to join us for September. Link in the description. There's a squirrel back there in the tree. He's a big fan.